In an ancient time, when a terrible evil threatens the land, only one man can save the world.
Say what? Get out of here.
What? What's the meaning of this?
Oh, we'll just take off that broken record.
I say.
Here, hold my earrings while I take this monster down. I've got your back, darling. We just might burn down this town. Oh no, oh yeah. When you're up against a challenge and you need a helping hand, we've got an arsenal of fireballs, steel stilettos, and a cat. Oh yeah.
Hello, and welcome to Here Hold My Earrings. My name is Al, and I'm your DM today. Today we have Yvonne, Laura, Rebecca, Henrietta, Susan, and Yoni. Yvonne?
Hi, I'm Yvonne from Canada, and I play Cracker, a half-orc barbarian.
Laura?
Hey, I'm Laura from Germany, and I'm playing Byleth, a Dragonborn wizard.
Rebecca?
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm also from Germany and I play Orla, a human cleric.
Susan?
Hi, I'm Susan. I'm from America, and I play Moxie, a half-elf bard.
Henrietta?
Hi, I'm Henriette. I'm from Norway, and I play a color star druid named Dalin.
And Yoni.
Hi, I'm Yoni. I'm from Belgium, and I play a half-elf wizard named Mira.
Terrific. And Yvonne, you've very kindly offered to do the recap this week.
Yes, I have. So beware. Here we go. We open with Pierce, brainless and dead, and Dylan walks into all this crazy mess. And there's a bit of fighting about who started it, and eventually I think she'll figure out that it wasn't me. So Orla
I
puts
love it.
Pierce to rest, and with a spell that'll keep him fresh till we get his brain back. Although I'm not really sure if we're ever going to get his brain back. And we check his stuff to see if it's useful. He has a bow and some bolts and a short sword. I didn't take anything, but I'm not sure what everybody else did. There were some scrolls, and one was a map, which was very helpful. And we then sent some bats to Queen Sunny and to the caravan to let them know what is going on. And he also had a ring, and it had no inscriptions, but it wasn't plain. It glows with phase rest. So I can't remember who picked that up. It wasn't me, but I did see it. Poops and Pool says that, oh, good. Poops and Pool said that it's a mind flayer and a lithid that killed Pierce and attacked us. And then he gave us a bit of history that they experimented on them, the fish people, before the gods existed, and they drove them below, and he's freaking out. And he's terrified, and he's running around like a maniac, all out of control, and Byleth ropes him in. And Poops and Pool knows where he is, and he thinks he can find his way to his village, although he doesn't know exactly where he is. He just kind of knows by scent in the water. So we sit there for a while trying to figure out, do we follow him along the shore? Do we jump in the water? And then we realize we have a scroll of water breathing, which is very helpful. And that makes I think it kind of makes our decision for us. And he doesn't know where the library is, but he thinks he knows their archpriest knows where it is. So we're going to head to his old village that we find out he was cast out of for being completely insane. And we're going to hopefully get some help there. And let's see here for one sec. And then we talk a little bit about what weapons we can use underwater. And Cracker's already ready with her dagger and javelin. And we swim for what seems like forever. And then suddenly Poop says he thinks there's something up ahead. And they're some of his kind. And Orla pipes up and promises a royal favor in the royal we. And I'm not part of that. So we come to a wealthy guy, and he's well adorned with all kinds of jewelry, and his staff has gold statuary. He's more impressive than all the other ones. And he casts a spell, and suddenly we can understand him. And he talks to Poops and Pool, and he says, "You were exiled for your insanity." And Poops responds, "We can do you a favor. Yes, we can do a deal. We can trade. I need valuable things. This is a great favor if you want to get to this library. But first, I will need all your valuables," which is what the rich sort of... We can't tell if he's a priest or a king or just somebody with a great deal of power. And then he takes our cheese and Byleth's lantern. Cracker cries a little about the cheese. And seems this dude has a daughter that follows another god, and she seeks to take over from him and wants us to wipe out the heresy. And he wants a sacrifice. And his god is Lemogugu, and Mira starts in on him, as is Mira's way. And Cracker tries to clamp her hand over her mouth real quick, but this guy silences her instead, which was equally helpful. And we whirlpool down to the village after Orla agrees individually to kill his daughter. Again, I don't feel like I'm part of a lot of the decisions going on here. I'll back you, but all these promises. And that's my summary.
Yes, and a wonderful unbiased summary it was. Disavowing knowledge, covering your backside. I mean, that was
Sad
an
about
exercise,
cheese.
an exercise in political self-preservation, I must say. Well done. Does anybody want to add anything? I think there's something I need to amend, but if anybody else wants to add something.
The rich guy also wanted our quote-unquote slaves.
That's true. Yes. For what purpose?
Or sacrifice.
Mm.
And this is just more a technical question. Mira is silenced. How long is she silenced for?
He cast a spell that Orla will recognize as command. And so you are silenced for 1 round only.
Okay.
So yes, Mira can start babbling on as usual. Does anybody else want to make any? Does anybody else have any comments?
Oh, just super small, but I don't think we froze Pierce not to get so someone could get his brain back, but just so he wouldn't actually start to decompose and look bad. And also so no one could resurrect him.
Very good. So I'd like to just make a clarification, if I may. And while that was a terrific summary, the gentleman that you're meeting currently, who has not yet given you his name because you haven't asked for it, he is the high priest or the archpriest of the Sea Mother, Blib Dul Pool. And he's saying that his daughter is the one that, from his perspective at least, is a heretic following a new god called Lemogugu.
Thank you.
If you're going to get involved in a religious war, it's probably helpful to know which side you're on.
What was the Sea Mother called again?
Blib Dul Pool. All of the names obviously have some sort of bubbly, onomatopoeic quality.
Oh, that spelling is way different from what I wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I got it exactly right.
Well.
Just now.
Well done.
I went like... I don't know what I wrote down.
Well done. Okay, so Ivy is an octopus. The rest of you have agreed. Well, apparently Orla has agreed and bound the rest of the party, but the rest of the party generally agreed at the same time, even if those of you who claim not to have agreed, say you didn't, you by omission you agreed to do a favor in return for a favor, and the favor being that the archpriest and the Quotoa generally have been around for so long that they actually know pretty much everything there is to know about the Underdark, including how to get to Graven Hollow. And as a result, the archpriest reveals the presence of the whirlpool. The whirlpool. And you are magically transported into it. If I can make this thing work.
Whee!
Flushing toilet sounds. All right. Hopefully you can all see this. I may not have done that, actually. Can you all see this?
So far, it's dark,
Oh,
but I can see our
Yeah.
turns.
crap. Yeah, I did. Hang on. I didn't do it right.
I can see Maliborn, Sponge, and Poops and Pool.
Yeah. I'm working on it. Give me a sec. Oh, crap.
There's
So-
a lot of crabs here.
Yes, a lot of crabs.
But no oysters.
Well, you haven't, I mean, you were looking and you did find shellfish, but you didn't find one that was sufficiently large enough that it would potentially have satisfied the requirement that
I
you
guess they're
need.
being shellfish. Sorry.
It was good. I'm just like, man, I'm too tired for puns. No, that was actually quite good. Well done. So, oh yeah, and Cracker gets inspiration. Okay, hopefully Roll20 is working. You guys all see your whirlpool and the, oh, maybe I haven't done it yet. This is what happens when you get stuck doing other stuff. Emergency stuff. Okay. Right. The whirlpool disgorges all of you in the middle of what appears to be a large body of water, since you all have your water breathing on currently, not affected other than slightly disoriented from the spinning. Does anybody enjoy the spinning?
Nope.
Whee!
I do.
I was gonna say,
We're
I
probably
feel
just
like
gonna
Violet.
stink like.
I feel like Violet would definitely do a wee.
Yeah. Wee. I'm very
Yeah.
happy. That's the best time of my life. Other people are just puking. I'm like, yay! Super cool.
Ola's
It's-
definitely puking.
It's like that song from Dirty Dancing. Okay, and you pop out, and then the whirlpool seems to subside, and you're all just sort of floating in the water. The priest says to you, "If you'll follow me to the village, I'll introduce you to some locals, and you can decide how to tactically approach your mission. Remember, my daughter must be turned or destroyed for her heresy. I don't mind. Either way's fine.
So I turned.
Well, if you can bring her back, that would be helpful. But she's very dangerous.
Like to your god.
It is all of our gods.
Yes.
The Sea Mother is the source of all of us. bloop. And her inability to recognize this is both ungrateful and angering. Bloop, bloop. Unfortunately, she's become more powerful as a result of her heresy. Bloop, 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 bloop. And I fear we will lose if we go head to head. But perhaps you could help us. Either we attack her head on, and you strike when she isn't expecting it, or you can try to find a solution on your own. Kill as many as you need. Save a few for sacrifices. But if you fail, we will all die. And of course, no one will be left to show you how to get to the library. Is that clear?
Guess so.
Well, good. Follow me. And Poops and Pool. Of course, you don't understand Poops and Pool because he is not under the spell. Yes, I know. Well, I think, son, for this, if you succeed for bringing these mercenaries, we can discuss you coming back to join us. But no more of those crazy ideas. All right. And he pats Poops and Pool. And the other Quotoa seemed very excited. They all swim around doing circles.
I'm just gonna nudge Sponge and just say, what were they saying?
Sponge says, feels like he's the father, the other one's the son. The son did something really bad. He tried to something about there were a bunch of fish hanging, drying on a rack, and the son started to arrange them in a straight line, and nobody liked that, and he wouldn't stop. And then there was an attempt to sacrifice they said a dark, skinny human. And then Sponge looks at your drow companion. Maybe somebody like him? But Poops didn't want to do it because he said it was his friend. And then he tried to... Well, anyway, it didn't seem like a very comfortable conversation. And they also said something about still taking Maliborn to sacrifice. And since you're doing this telepathically, Maliborn doesn't know what's going on. He's just standing there passively.
Okay. Yeah, that Poops and Pool, he's crazy. Trying to order fish in a straight line. That's insane.
It's all relative.
Oh my god.
All right. You slowly wade into the shallow water and eventually get ashore. This village is essentially on the banks of the Dark Lake. As you look behind you from the water from whence you came, and you look around you, this is a massive underground cavern. It's so far, the ceiling is so far up that none of you can see it with your dark vision or any other senses. It clearly is a huge body of water. It doesn't feel like a lake at all. There are waves. There's even a breeze, so there's some air currents. Some of it is hot air. Some of it is dry. Occasionally you get hit with these waves of humid, fetid air that seem to be coming from the village itself. Some combination, presumably, of rotting vegetation and seafood and whatever else is going on in there. As you're wading ashore, there are little fish running around, swimming in the water. Some of them could be fish. Some of them, for all you know, could be the younglings, the fry of this particular race. Some of them get between your feet and your legs. You don't step on them unless you're deliberately trying to. There are many boats. Some of them are fishing boats. Some of them appear to be craft that could be used for carrying cargo. There are barges. Some of them have benches attached or built into them. And you get the sense that not only is this a village where people live and presumably fish for sustenance, they may even conduct a fair bit of trade here, which would also explain how they know where all of these locations in the Underdark are. All of the structures are made of mud and straw, straw being a relative term. There are some reeds growing here, but they don't look like the reeds on the surface because, of course, there's no sun. And some of them also seem to employ some sort of planks, much like the docks themselves and what you've seen elsewhere where people use certain types of fungi or other plant material in lieu of what you would normally use on the surface as wood. There don't seem to be very many large, impressive buildings for a race that's supposedly older than time itself. And although it is organized to the extent that they have docks and they have buildings, there is a certain chaoticness that pervades the entire village. There are things that are just left unkempt. There are things that are left spread out on the ground. There's no real order to any of it. Off in the distance, you hear people chanting. Limo goo goo, limo goo goo, limo goo goo. Whatever that means. And the entire village, needless to say, smells like rotting fish. Some of you may like this smell. Most of you probably are repulsed by it. There are a couple of these fish people that see you and scurry back into their huts. They're not particularly welcoming. They seem a little bit nervous about you, which I guess makes some sense. What would you like to do at this stage?
God, it smells in here. Why did we come here?
They know where the library is.
These underground creatures and the water creatures know where the library is. Sounds legit.
I mean, Poops said so.
He is literally crazy.
Well, to be honest, it doesn't seem like he's crazy. It seems like all the other ones are crazy.
I was thinking the same thing.
I think he was exiled for being normal.
Well, good for you, Poops and Pool. Way to raise to the standards.
So, Poops, you really want to stay here? You want to be back with your people?
How are you communicating with him?
I am asking him in common, but I'm not talking so loud that everyone around us hears us.
Well, you guys don't have a common language, right?
You sponge.
How did he tell us
Yeah.
before?
Sponge.
You're Sponge, right?
Yeah, Sponge.
Mhm.
Okay, then I'll try via Sponge.
Sponge looks at you, exhausted. You get a sense that he's tired of playing translator, and he looks at Poops, and Poops starts hopping excitedly between his two legs, back and forth, and then he sort of runs around in a circle, simulating swimming very quickly and darting back and forth and looking. And he lifts his head up almost like he's sniffing the air, and he shakes his butt left to right very vigorously. And Sponge just sort of, although he doesn't have a lot of facial features, he does have hot eyes and he has a mouth. And then you see Sponge's eyes just kind of close really tight and his mouth puck up. And he just looks at you all and goes, ew.
Ew.
I think he wants to procreate with somebody. Ew, it's gross.
Have you not had a talk yet, Sponge?
We do it different. We release it into the air and it settles wherever it does, gently, like fine dust. He just takes it out and sprays it all over the place like an animal.
I mean, you're also kinda just releasing your spores into the air. What's the difference?
At this point, he looks at you, Mira, seems offended, and he turns around, and as he does, you get hit with a blast of smelly air.
What? Were that your spores?
Turns back and winks, and then walks off.
Please don't insult our translator.
Oh god. I was not insulting him, I was merely curious. Somebody get this off of me, please.
You suspect that deep down inside, you two may now be married.
Nope. And Mira just like keeps going, nope.
Oh.
I can arrange a ceremony if you'd like.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Find me a fire. I'll make a cake.
My god, please, this is not funny anymore. Get married? I'm too young!
Okay.
Also, he's not my type.
I think it's a little late for that.
Well, this was not consensual!
And what era do we live in? But okay. Oh, wait.
I am a strong, independent woman who does not want to be infected with weird spores.
Day late, dollar short?
The rest of you notice that that Mira suddenly smells like lavender.
What?
I think maybe just being married has its merits and it makes you a lot more peaceful. I think it might be good for you.
Rather
And just
marry
think.
any of you than the sponge.
And just think. You could always keep the translator with us from now until eternity.
Nope. No.
All right. Yeah. So, what would the rest of you guys like to do?
I would like to form a mind link with Poops and Pool
Mm-hmm.
and just ask him what he knows. What do you know about the god that his daughter is worshipping?
Poops and Pool responds, "Oh, yeah. I don't know that much about it. It just suddenly happened. Our people are very powerful. We have powerful mind capabilities. All we need to do is think of something, and if enough of us think of it, it happens. I don't know where she got this image. Oh, she's so beautiful. oh, and his eyes sort of roll around in weird circles. He starts wiggling his butt. Oh, she's so beautiful. When I think of her, it just makes me want to.
The god or
Oh,
his daughter?
no, not the god.
Oh, okay.
His daughter, my sister. She's hot. Oh,
Okay, we're
oh.
going there.
Sweet home Alabama.
Oh my god.
Okay. So your people can almost create anything if they're just enough of them think about it.
Well, we can't make gold or pearls.
Fuck.
We can only make, like beings, gods. That's it.
Okay. Okay. So you don't know what they worship. What that
Oh, I
god
don't know.
stands
Something called
for.
Limo Gugu, Limo Gagi, something like that.
Yeah, but you don't know what that god stands for or is the god of.
Oh, it's something about the father of the sea, the lake. It's supposed to be male, but I don't think it's a fish at all. I've seen their altar, and it just looks like a whole bunch of things they took out of the lake, and they sacrificed it.
Ah.
It's kind of creepy, but I wouldn't say it's. I mean, it could be creepy, or it could just be lunch.
Oh, okay. So the people in the village are worshipping the sea mother, and the other one is worshipping the sea father. Why don't they just hook up and you have a sea family?
Oh, gosh, I really would like to see her again. I haven't seen her since we were small fry. Ooh. And you start to see like a little bit of jelly start to exude
Okay.
from somewhere on his body.
Okay. Good talk. Good talk. I'm just gonna go over there. Okay. And I'm just gonna tell the others, do you know that these frog people, if they just think hard enough of them to think about it, they can create their own god? Just
Cool.
out of
Can't
nothing?
we all? It's called delusion.
Well, it seems that this god kind of comes into being with all of them worshipping it.
I mean, do any of us know how gods actually come into being?
I think they're just as old as the universe itself, right?
Yeah, they kind of created a lot, didn't they? I think. Well, we know. Well, I don't know. I heard some stories
Do
about
I know?
one god, but
Well, so what are you asking, Rebecca?
Has Sean T told all our like how she came to be? Like, does she all know her like origin story?
That's a good question. What do you think that would be? History, arcana, religion? Religion, probably, but that may not be something that Orla would be proficient in.
And I'm not proficient in religion, but I can definitely try.
Okay.
Oh, all right. That's a 4.
wow.
Yeah. You have a vague recollection that she is the Earth Mother, and she has primarily a wilderness background, but she does also, represent the hearth to some extent, and the interaction between humans or humanoids and nature. There's some vague image of a pomegranate, maybe, or strawberries, but you could just also be hungry.
Okay. I'm going to tell you this well. My God, I don't know where she came from, but that doesn't matter, right? What matters is that I believe in her and that she is good.
Yeah. Just a
And the
question.
rest of you
Exactly.
see Orla slightly glow green briefly.
But a
You
question.
okay there, Chica?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's
You look
it's
a little
the
green around the
it's
gills.
yeah, that's the whirlpool still. Huh?
Mira's just going to go like, and just like inch away from all of these god people.
Says the woman who smells like lavender and is infected by a sponge.
I did not consent to that.
What's done is done.
It's too late.
Maybe if I kill Sponge, maybe
To
this will all stop.
apologize. Laura started it. Too late to
I
apologize.
did
all
nothing
support
wrong,
Laura.
okay? I did nothing wrong.
Uh-huh, sure. Because you
You have to
never
look
do
at it
anything wrong.
positively.
Wait,
Okay, children, could you?
Yes, mummy.
Oh, I don't like that. So, maybe we should just pretend that we're interested in this new god and find out more about it to really see if it's the Earth. No, sorry, Earth. Sorry, I'm still thinking about my god. If it's the Sea Mother we should support or the Sea Father.
I don't know. I like Dylan's idea. Let's just get them together and make a sea family. Anyway, everybody can get along.
Yeah,
That
monotheism
is
is
actually
out.
an amazing idea.
It was a fantastic idea.
Mhm.
That
I'm
way,
sorry, but
everybody gets along.
that, you know how much drama that would cause?
Would you rather murder innocent fish people?
If their name is Sponge, maybe.
He's not a
Yeah.
fish person.
He's a mushroom pip.
Potato, potato. Potato, potato.
Mushroom fish. I mean, they taste good together, but still, they're not the same.
I would rather we don't kill any more of our companions.
I agree.
Me too.
So, reconnaissance? Maybe?
Sure. Let's talk to
Sure.
people.
Yeah.
Shall we go find her?
Sure.
I don't want to go anywhere right now because Orla might, like, chain me to a boat or something.
I just
Why
want to
would
get
you?
away from Sponge, so I will just walk up to the first person I see.
I wouldn't chain you to a boat. Only if you did something that made you deserve that.
Push the
1
buttons
to
on the
2.
boat. So are we all going together? Are we going in pairs?
I say we try to find his daughter and just get talking.
Hey. Left, right, north, south, east, west.
Poops, can you smell her?
There we go.
His eyes start rolling around, and he lifts his head in the general direction, heading east that way. For those of you who can see it, along the shore of the Dark Lake. If you didn't see it, I think she's by the altar.
To the altar.
Okay.
No one is going to question why there is an altar?
Why wouldn't there be an altar?
For the god?
Yeah.
We're in the... Don't get you people, honestly.
It's alright, Mira. You're gonna be fine.
How do you guys see now? Some of you lost your lanterns. Ivy is an octopus that can't breathe air.
Um,
I've got my shield with light.
Yes.
You wouldn't want to lose him. So what's going on with Ivy? Is Ivy swimming alongside you in the Dark Lake, or
Yeah, she's swimming, and we're doing like a bit of telepathic small talk about,
Okay.
what she's seeing and stuff. It's really, really interesting. But of course, she's not coming to land, so she's just vibing. Yeah.
Okay. She tells you there are a lot of small fry, lots of little crabs. Although it is on the banks of the Dark Lake near a settlement, there's a lot of life down here. It seems very rich. She's actually a little bit worried that she might be attacked because there seems to be something lurking just off in the distance.
Oh
Um,
no.
she doesn't know what it is, but she senses that there's some vibration in the water, and it seems like it's quite large.
Do I see that Ivy is close to shore and kind of is trying to stay with us?
Mm, yeah, your passive perception is very high. If you want to look, I'm sure you can sort of see a shadow. It's hard to see. The Dark Lake is dark, right?
Mm-hmm.
By definition. And it's murky. It's a lake, so it's not totally clear water. But you've got good perception. You can probably sense her.
Okay. I'm gonna take the iron pot that I took from Ola, that I'm carrying for her, and I'm gonna fill it with water, and I'm gonna put Ivy up inside it and carry it.
Okay. Does Ivy get in, Laura?
Yes, she's afraid that
Mm.
some otherworldly forces might kill her because
Or
know.
just a fish.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
I
Right,
mean,
Al.
she's
Right.
a small octopus, basically.
Yeah.
They like to hide in rocks and things, right? They're not used to just
Mhm.
swimming around in the open ocean.
I'm
Ivy
very thankful.
disappears. She disappears into the pot, sprays a little bit of ink, and suddenly it looks like you're holding a pot of black soup, and you don't see anything inside. Of course,
Yay.
she can't. She messages Violet and says, "Phew,
Very
boy,
cool.
this pot stinks. What did you use it for?"
It's a chamber pot.
I don't know. You have to ask Ola. It's her pot.
Kinda just had it in my backpack. I think it's one of my. I think I've made like a couple of stews in there. Yeah.
Fish stew.
Yeah, I was thinking, I don't know, maybe potentially. I'm sorry, Ivy, for traumatizing you. Potentially.
Calamari. Calamari
It was
stew.
a trap. There's a fire waiting right there.
Okay. So do you guys want to go up to the altar?
Yes.
Let's talk to the fishy lady.
Okay. Well, this is the one that Poops and Pool tells you is for Limogugu. And further back, he points to a large statue that he says is the altar of the Sea Mother. The Limogugu altar is a large stone altar. It has a number of aquatic creatures that have been slaughtered on top of it. There's obviously a ray of some sort, something that looks a lot like Ivy. And they're collecting what appears to be the fluids, such as blood, etc., in a large bowl at the foot of the altar. And they're all kneeling in front of it, chanting the same chant that you heard earlier. Limo goo goo. And they're swaying back and forth. They're on their knees, their arms are outstretched high. They're swaying back and forth in unison, left and right. Limo goo goo.
Are they doing the
Limo
Mexican
goo
wave?
goo. They're not going up and down, they're just sort of swaying back and forth, almost like seaweed in a tidal current. Limo goo goo. Limo goo goo. Nearby, you see, this is the one leading the chant. a little fishy person with like a little bioluminescent bulb dangling from the forehead. There are a few other ones that look a little bit unusual standing nearby. This one looks quite mean and nasty, carrying a strange set of weapons. One of them appears to be a claw on a staff. He's not chanting. He seems to be watching the rest of them chanting. This one is also watching nearby and sort of hopping left and right on one foot to the other, shaking its head vigorously. You don't know, of course, if that means good, bad, whatever. Interestingly, of course, there's nobody around the altar of the Sea Mother, which, as you look at it, is a gigantic statue, 15 feet high. It has the body of a beautiful, almost completely naked humanoid female with very voluptuous dimensions, very large breasts, wide hips, long legs. But the head is that of a lobster, and it has two gigantic claws in place of its hands. There are images carved along the base of the statue that depict what appears to be the same being. One of them has an image of her swimming. The hair looks like kelp. The rest of it is, as I said, crustacean-like, but the torso is extremely humanoid and extremely feminine.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this is like a kink gone too far.
I mean, everyone should be allowed to worship whoever they want to worship.
True, but
True.
I've seen some weird shit, but cake.
I mean, you're a bard. Oh, so you were a bard, so shouldn't you be more tolerant of this kind of stuff?
Oh no, they can do whatever they want. I'm just baffled. Like, I'm not judging. I'm just, whoa.
So you are, but you aren't. Got it.
So let's do some parent trapping.
And how exactly are we going to do that?
Did you say parent trapping?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
because it's the sea mother and the sea father.
Oh, right. Okay, right.
So is there a sea kid that they fight over custody for?
Well, all of the followers are the babies.
Hmm.
And they are arguing
let's-
if they have it better with mommy or daddy. So we need to put them together and they can all live happily ever after.
Or like shared custody. Like, yeah, let's worship one off on Monday to Thursday and the rest like at the weekend, and like they do alternating Christmas.
Maybe we should discuss a child support arrangement.
Let's not take it too far.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you guys can move your tokens. What do you want to do with Sponge and Shrieker, Poops and Pool, Maliborn? I guess Ivy's traveling with you.
Yes.
I want them close so we can protect them.
Okay.
Our sponge isn't attached to Mira like at the hip.
Yeah.
No, Mira is running away from him if he does that. Like, she's staying as far away as possible.
Sponge telepathically sends Mira a message. I can hear you, you know.
It's
have
for you.
feelings.
I'm not trying to hide it. What? Don't start crying. What have I done wrong? What have I done to you?
You rejected him.
What? You didn't even. What? What?
Oh,
And he
Okay.
just like sits, he just like tilts his head lower and he seems to cuddle Shrieker very closely and tenderly. Shrieker lets out a little soft moan.
Sponge, I would like it. I would like for you to use your words.
He can't
What is
talk.
wrong? His telepathic words.
He just turns away from you and you get blasted with another blast of smelly air.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Is that even possible underwater?
You're not underwater anymore.
we're
Now
in a
you're on land.
cavern.
Well, Mira would like to jump in the water.
Sponge follows.
Like,
All
has
right,
nobody
so
got my
who-
back?
Mouth gets you
Nobody.
into trouble. You own it.
No, you're choosing Mr. Humanoid Sponge, a mushroom, over me.
He's a lot quieter.
I mean, he's
Been
always
here longer.
he's always translating. You've only done it a couple of times, and when we really needed it, you forgot to prepare the spell.
What?
Ha-da-dum, da-dum,
Mira's just going
da-dum.
to pout and stay as far away as possible from Sponge.
So typical Mira. She goes. She takes her ball and goes home.
Yep.
I'm also like looking at where Moxie is moving.
Mhm.
Y'all just left me to my own devices arguing with Mira over
Wasn't
Sponge.
she supposed to be our translator?
I feel like the chains idea wasn't that bad.
As
Yeah.
Moxie gets close to the altar of the Sea Mother, three rather vicious looking, if you can call them that, Quotoa pop up from behind the statue and they point a combination of several tridents, spears, and dangling nets towards her.
She's gonna raise her hands like, I come in peace. I just wanted to look.
What would you say that is? Persuasion? I'll give you an intelligence roll of some sort if you can justify it, since it's
Um,
kind of a language type of skill.
Yeah. Considering my intelligence isn't the greatest. I just wanted to look at the statue.
Yeah,
don't
have a roll. What would you say that is?
I guess persuasion.
Okay,
Persuade them not to kill me.
okay.
I'll take it.
Yeah, somewhere in the background, you sense that perhaps the archpriest and father had sent off a number of the other Quotoa that had accompanied you. Maybe they passed along a message. The three of them back up a little bit, but they still keep a wary eye on you as you approach the statue. It is, as I described, a beautiful, voluptuous human or humanoid female, full on mammary glands and everything else, which is a little bit odd considering the fish people themselves don't seem to have that kind of level of human-like genitalia or
Mhm.
reproductive organs. The head is a crayfish, which again doesn't look like the fish people specifically, and the claws are huge. And it's standing in a very human-style pose. There are lots of offerings at the base of the altar.
Mhm.
Most of them seem to be things you might find from the Dark Lake. There are shells, including large oyster shells.
Ooh.
You even see several pearls. You could try to steal one.
I like to keep Moxie may be naive, but she's not stupid. Giant angry fish people with spears and tridents and things. Yeah, she's not going to touch anything at the base of the altar. She's just going to look at it and inspect it and see if there's anything odd or off.
Right. Yeah.
Think about the approval
also-
you would get, though, if you brought them a pearl. You'd be the favorite child.
Yes,
There
a
is-
favored child with no limbs.
There are also quite few full torsos, skeletons of humanoids. At least one of them looks like and smells like it could have been a Sverfnebelin. It's been eviscerated, completely opened from the abdominal cavity, the chest ribcage cracked open. It is laid out lengthwise in front of the feet of the statue. There's a skull that looks human sized. It's very narrow, but it could have been an elf or human, maybe drow. There are a number of other large bones that could be thigh bones of humanoids, or there could even be bones from some other animal.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear that this statue and the space in front of it is being used for sacrifices, and there are lots of old and some fresh blood stains. There
Mhm.
are some little pots and jars that seem to be sealed, and there are a few bowls made of gold that have some things in them. You don't know what they are. There are some insects and flies flying around them. For all you know, they could even be organs. It all
Mhm.
smells like death, but there is also a sweet, cloying scent that covers it all. And there is something that seems to burn. You think it may be something similar to incense.
Question. So, the offerings around the mother's statue are all humanoid, basically.
There are a number of different types. Well, first of all, you're not there, so you'd have to get closer to see it in that level of
Yeah.
detail. From what you can see from where you are, there are definitely visible some humanoid-sized things. If you wanted
Are
to see
there
more
al-
detail, you'd have to get close.
Are there also
There-
humanoids on the father's altar?
There is one quotoa that is strapped down on the altar. The altar otherwise consists of what appear to be aquatic animals. The
Okay, thank you.
the quotoa is not dead. It is alive, and it seems to be lifting its head, but it is strapped down, held down by pegs and twine or rope or something, or sinew possibly, by its ankles and its wrists.
Thing around the mother that would give any indication as to why the sacrifices or any history or anything? Because obviously I know nothing about these people. I'm just trying to get
Yeah,
some
I mean,
info.
tell me how Moxie would know.
Mm. I mean, she did do a bit of traveling with when she was captive, playing translator and whatnot. I don't know if she's run across something like this before. But
What was Moxie's
wanting-
background again?
Background.
She was from a farming village inland, wasn't she?
From up north, yeah.
Yeah. So
So
she's not really
probably
coming
nothing.
across these types of people.
Yeah.
And
She's
there
curious.
isn't a whole lot of writing on the altar itself. I mean, you
Okay.
could always ask the archpriest.
Hmm.
I'm sure the archpriest would know something about it.
Yeah. Well, she figured she'd look first before she asked. I don't know. Can she see him? I'm assuming she can see him from where she's standing.
Well, he's trying to remain surreptitious because he doesn't want to interfere with your attempts at reconnaissance. He did overhear you discuss what your plans were, and since he's operating under the assumption that you're going to fulfill your promise to help, he doesn't want to interfere. He has
Gotcha.
explained to you that as and when you guys come back to him with a plan, whether it's to assault them fully or to do something else, he'll coordinate
Mhm.
with you then. But he is not too far away either. The altar itself isn't physically that far from the other altar. There is definitely
Okay.
some sort of a competition, at least in terms of the people, the Kotoa hanging around the Lima Gugu altar, and those who are noticeably absent from the Sea Mother's altar.
Yeah.
There are literally dozens and dozens of Kotoa just wandering about doing their daily things. You sense that this is a village of several hundred beings. Of course, you don't see most of them because probably they're either out fishing or doing something else, or they're inside their huts. Plus, it
Hiding.
includes little ones,
Mm-hmm.
whatever else.
All right.
Anybody
Well, I
else?
guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh. No, go ahead. I don't want to.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Moxie. Go, Susan. What else would Moxie want to do?
Well, basically, she just wants more information. So I'll let everybody else do their thing before she turns and asks.
Okay. Henrietta, how does Delin feel about all this?
I really want that pearl. Well, Henrietta wants that pearl.
Henrietta wants that pearl, or Delin wants that pearl?
Well, I really want it, but I don't know if Dalin has seen it yet. That's why I kind of wanted to go a little bit down, just to be in between to see, so that Moxie isn't alone, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Never know what she's gonna do.
I mean, the offerings on the altar, including the giant clamshell, some of these are so physically large that even at that distance, you can identify them as things like clamshells. What she might not see the pearls, but where there's a giant clamshell, right?
Well, I guess we need to talk to the daughter. But personally, I would like to just wipe everything out of the face of existence. In this cavern.
Yeah. All the sacrificing. Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm not the person that is most good in the world, but sacrificing, that's kind of too much for even me. I don't know. I'm just gonna I guess that the one that you showed us first with a light on the head, that's the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she hasn't been identified, but this one seems to be standing and leading the chant. She's wielding a small shield. She's got a staff that's glowing at the end of it, but she's waving the staff around almost like a conductor with the baton and leading the chanting, with the swaying back and forth and the Lima Gugu and the whole, there's a little bit of crackling power every once in a while. Occasionally, you even see a little bit of lightning shoot out.
Okay. Judging from the rest of the fish people, I guess she doesn't speak common.
You haven't encountered anyone that speaks common so far. Everybody's kind of doing their fishy talk, although, as you know, the archpriest was able to cast a spell to allow you to communicate.
Yeah. Can I just try and kind of catch her eye and just kind of talk with my hands and just point at her, point at our mouths, and just like I'm talking, and point at me and just try and get her to come over? I don't want to
I feel
try
like that's performance.
Oh yeah, I'm good at that. I'm great.
It's like charades, right?
Yeah.
Can I see what she's trying to do?
That's a 4.
From all the way over there? Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think anybody
like-
knows what she's doing.
Like that she's trying to do something. Can I see that she's trying to do something?
It looks to you from where you're standing that Delin's being bothered by a bunch of flies from the various
Poke myself
dead
in the
creatures,
eye.
Okay.
and she's waving at them, trying to shoo them
Okay.
away. They're getting in her hair. She's obviously, irritated by it.
Okay, no help.
Fine.
Uh,
I guess I have to do the invasive thing. I'm fine. I create mind link. I was trying not to kind of invade her head just yet, but guess that's where we're at. I'm just gonna say, excuse me, could we please talk to you for a second?
Suddenly, she lifts both arms up and then lays them out horizontal to the ground, parallel to the ground. The rest of the chanting stops, and she says, "Limo Gugu," out loud.
No.
And we'll stop there and take a break.
Okay.
Oh.
Man.
I can have some
You've
fun
turned
with
into a-
this. Yeah.
Delin has turned into a god.
All right, shall we call it sort of 5-7 minutes?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Hi, we hope you're enjoying this episode, and if so, please like and subscribe. And remember, the next time your DM says, roll initiative, yell back,
Here.
Yeah, hold my earrings.
Here, hold my earrings.
This is good. I think we only need this take.
everybody's back. Right, so where did we leave off? Maliborn was dying. Oh, no, that was something else.
Delin turned into a god.
Yes.
Just the usual, you know.
So
Random
what-
characters die.
So before Delin starts, impersonating a god, goddess, or deity of some sort, Laura, what is Byleth doing during all this? Is she the one holding the pot with Ivy in it, or is Orla holding the pot, or is Delin holding the pot?
Well, I'm definitely trying to hold the pot. I think like Dylan took it first and then like, here, it's mine, you know? Yeah. That's what I would do. And I have a question because here, there's light, but can I see anything here or can Dylan see anything here? Because I don't see any light. And
Sorry.
you said that it was kind of dark.
So when you say you don't see any light, as in you, Laura, do not see a map?
No, I mean, that's not it.
Oh.
I mean, here, it's like
Oh,
kind of like
oh,
a campfire,
oh, right.
So
There is now
can
some
probably
ambient
see.
light. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I believe I believe Rebecca said Orla had cast her light cantrip on her shield, which gives 20 plus 20. So you'd be able to see the edge of the altar close to it. The altar itself does have both the priestess is producing light through her bioluminescent bulb, as well as the fellow next to her, who also seems to have a bulb.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Did you say something?
Hello?
Yoni, can you hear us? Somebody message Yoni and I'll just keep going. S'il vous plaît. Thank you. And there is some bioluminescence around, much as we've discussed, the Underdark is full of things that seem to glow specifically since it's dark all the time. So for now, we can say you can see everything as if it was partial darkness, dim light, as I think they say. Okay.
All right. Well, I mean, Dylan is like kind of having trouble with flies as it seems like. So I'm just like, okay, I let her be, and I'm a bit freaked out about the one Kutar like just lying there on the altar. I feel a bit bad for him, but yeah, I'm very curious about this fella because he looks a bit like Poops and Pool.
Which fellow?
And this one.
This. Oh, this one.
No, this one. Because he's like standing right next to us.
The yellow one.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yes. Sorry. Sorry.
Is he named Bob? I don't know.
Well, I mean, do you want to talk to him?
I mean, I probably can't speak his language, but I'm probably gonna go up to him and like wave at him, like, "Hey, we're new here."
He waves back.
That's what I expected. I do a thumbs up.
He has thumbs. Okay. I guess it's a form of communication, so you can choose a charisma check or an intelligence check of some sort, since we kind of simulated charades already with Delin.
Intelligence?
Mm-hmm. You can choose a skill that you're proficient in if you can justify it. Otherwise, just straight intelligence.
Just rolling straight intelligence.
Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at you, and it's very disconcerting because he turns from a sideways glance to full on to the other side, and you notice that the eyes are moving independently of each other. How prominent is this thumb gesture? Is it like very subtle? Are you sticking it way out in front of you, in front of his face, like you're, like, you know, like to make it obvious that the thumb is what you're focusing on?
Yeah, I think Violet would probably do like a very prominent thumbs up and like smile all over her face, you know? Like be very happy.
Ooh, yes.
So
The
bad.
large open mouth of a draconic looking creature for a fish. That can't possibly go wrong.
I also think so.
Yeah. As you do that, initially, the fish person leans his head into your thumb to look at it, and then it looks up and sees you smiling and backs away and jumps into the water and disappears.
No.
And leaves behind a little pile of fish poop. And Sponge immediately walks over and sort of nestles his feet into it. Squishy, squish, 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 squishy.
Era walks away from Sponge.
I feel very bad. At least I heard you.
His
Mira.
head reappears from the surface, and he bobs around. He looks, and he goes.
I love how he sounds like an Animal Crossing character.
Oh my god. I want to do minor illusion, and I want to put an image of us hugging. But like a polite hug, you know, so that he doesn't scared of me.
This poor fish.
Go for it. Let's roll again. Let's see how good your This is definitely performance.
Yes. Performance. 19.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
The fishy person initially gets excited and scared, dives into the water, and then sort of peeks out some eyes. And then your little minor illusion of the two of you hugging comes out, and it looks beautiful. It doesn't look anything like a lizard attacking a fish. And the creature comes back out of the water tentatively and comes up next to you, and then turns around, wiggles his tail, and a couple of eggs drop out.
All right.
And then looks back coyly over its shoulder, like the girl with the pearl earring at you.
Oh man.
That you successfully seduced the fish person.
I didn't mean
Congratulations.
it like that. All right. It's gonna wave and look very helplessly.
It looks back at you and seems a little disappointed.
I'm sorry.
And I whisper, come on, give it a kiss.
You give it a kiss.
We're friends.
Well,
Of
he
Kotor
wanted more than
slightly walks
friendship.
off.
I'm not ready for more. All right.
You're saving yourself for marriage.
I'm just showing him the ring from Orla. Mhm.
Friendship ring. We're not married.
Fish
He
person doesn't know that.
Do fish people know what that ring means?
I don't know. Yeah. Here's a little pile of eggs for you.
Thank you.
I love how you have a token for that.
Mm-hmm. Actually,
they
it should
just-
be.
On the ground.
They're just on the ground. The Dark Lake is lapping them up, and occasionally it takes a couple of them away when the waves go back out again.
Can I have 3 hollow crystal bears. Can I use one to scoop them up?
Sure.
That sounds good.
Okay. Okay, I'm just putting them in one.
Yeah, I'd say hollow crystal bear from the Sverfnevlin city. So they're probably but they were export products, so they were designed for humans. So probably the size of a small jar. Yeah. Roll 3d6. And that'll be how many eggs you scoop up. All right. You got 10 eggs.
I
It was
also
fair.
want a few eggs.
Okay, I'm gonna give can I give Byleth one of the hollow crystal bears? Because I don't think she has any.
Oh, that is so nice.
Yes, I think we know why she doesn't have any.
Yes.
As you scoop them up, the fish lady comes back and starts waving her arms. And she points at Byleth. And then she points at you and shakes her hand. And she points back at Byleth and simulates the hug. And then she points back at you and like shows you an X. And then she stands between the two of you, moving you away from the eggs while she pushes Byleth towards the eggs.
I show her that Byleth and I are both wearing rings, like identical rings.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at
Are you
you, she
fish
looks
lady
at
as a friend?
Byleth, she looks at you, she looks at Byleth, then she slaps her forehead. She collects the remaining eggs on the ground and she stomps off.
I'm sorry.
Okay. In that case, did Byleth get any of the eggs or not?
You got some, but before Byleth could get them, she came over and took her eggs and left.
Okay. In that case, I'd like my empty crystal bear back from Byleth, and I'll give her the full one.
Aw, that is so nice. Thank you.
So now you got a full a crystal bear full of 10 fish eggs.
Thank you.
I'm not
That's
taking something that's not meant for me.
that's going to be one heck of an interesting export product.
Is it
Fish
basically
people caviar.
caviar?
I was
It's
thinking the same
basically
thing.
caviar
No.
it's basically Russian caviar in a hollow crystal bear. That actually could be something I could see from a high-end Russian distributor. I have vodka. that is supposedly named. Well, it's named Putinka, which is the diminutive of it. Right, there you go.
I'm just gonna yell over to them. Can you please stop offending the locals?
Don't forget.
I didn't mean to. But okay, whatever you say.
Yeah, I just wanted her to make sure that like any children that Byleth connects, I'm gonna adopt as stepchildren, I guess.
Hmm.
I was thinking that we were going to give them to Susnus to cook something up, but
That's also what I was thinking, honestly.
All right. Is there before we get back to Susan and Moxie and Henrietta and Delin, does anybody else want to do anything? All
No,
right.
I'm just hanging back. I mean, I know I'm intimidating, so after watching these shenanigans, I don't need any fish eggs.
No caviar for Cracker.
Not even to caviar and cracker. Not even to replace the cheese that you lost.
But this isn't cheese. I'm not a big
Well,
fan of fish.
That's true.
Nothing can ever replace the cheese.
Nope.
It will forever
is-
hold a place in Cracker's heart.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to get a tattoo of the cheese.
Oh, that would look so cool.
Oh yeah, now we have ink, right? From Ivy.
Ooh. Anybody up for a stick and poke?
Let's get friendship tattoos.
Jailhouse
All right.
tattoos.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So I think Susan's been waiting very patiently, as has Henrietta, who I'm sure has been scheming what to do. So shall we go back to Susan and Moxie and see how she's gonna handle investigating without upsetting the followers of the Sea Mother?
Shall we already roll initiative?
Excuse me.
Why, whatever do you mean?
There are
All
no
right,
buttons
Susan.
to push.
Yeah, exactly.
No physical buttons anyway.
I was just gonna say just emotional ones, cultural
Just
ones.
figured, just cultural buttons. All right. No, Moxie's gonna look at the high priest and kind of motion him to come over and ask about his goddess and the story there because she wants to know more.
The Sea Mother has been with us for many, many eons. She was originally created by the Quotor. Interestingly, we came into existence before she did. She represents everything that we aspire to. She wants vengeance against those who have defeated and dominated us, including the Mind Flayers. She protects us, and in return we offer her sacrifices. She needs to be appeased regularly. Drow, Illithids, and any of you pinkskins are preferred. Elves especially. She is very powerful and grants us all our divine powers. It is worrisome that this new false idol seems to have more power. If things continue, we will lose our way, and aside from the risks that we would lose her protection, we might even become targets of others, no longer able to protect ourselves from the raiding drow.
Okay. When did the drow last raid? Because I'm assuming you haven't seen them in a while.
And he points to the drow torso that's laying there at the foot.
Mm-hmm.
This is fresh. We are no longer raided. We do the raiding. Pounds his staff against the ground, proudly and defiantly. But we would love to have an Illithid. It has been many, many years since we have captured one live. They are very dangerous. Killing them is not impossible, but it is very hard to capture them without having to completely disable them. And their minds are so strong that one basically has to execute them. We believe that Blibdul will one day rise in person and return to us from her plane of existence. She does sometimes grant us favor, but we have to make great sacrifices. And he points to all of the shellfish, the lobster corpses and carcasses and carapaces that lay out before you. He opens one of the large oyster and clam shells that you see before you, and he pulls out a beautiful black pearl. This is one of our greatest sacrifices. Look at it. And he hands it to you with both hands. It's huge. It is so big that with your two hands, you cannot hold all of it. And it weighs easily several pounds. It is one of our greatest and most prized relics.
Where did it come from?
And he points at the Dark Lake. The bounty of the Sea Mother, if one does as she demands, is great indeed. Some of
And
these, however, came to us from the surface, and from when we lived near the surface.
I see. And please forgive my ignorance. How does she tell you what she wants?
Oh, I commune with her. Sometimes she tells me, sometimes we just have to know. But usually, the requirements are simple. Kill all those who are not of true race, or those of the true race who do not believe in her. Our greatest enemies, as I said, are many human races. Those that prey upon us, such as the drow and the mind flayers. Or those that prey on those that are her favored sacrifices, such as the ones who eat the lobsters and the fish. The great evil god of the rays in the lake and seas is one that we can always be vigilant of. But there are many. The Sea Mother has many enemies, and we are the only true race of believers.
I see.
It seems your friends are trying to interact with my daughter.
Perhaps they're trying to get information?
Let's see. And he turns to watch as the rest of the party continue their bickering with the locals, and Delin is standing there with her eyes closed and presumably her fingers on her temples. Henrietta?
Yes. I made a mind link with the daughter, and since she replied that, she thought that I was her god, I'm just gonna roll with it and just see if I can get something.
I'm just gonna say, yes, I am the Sea Father. I want you to do my bidding. I've been watching for a long, long time, and I've seen the statue of the Sea Mother, and she looks like a perfect mate for me. Would you? I need you and your followers to get us together. And one other thing, I will only accept sacrifices that are mind flayers. Goodbye. And I will go.
Goodbye. That was amazing.
I love it.
Yes, it is I.
Yes, it is I.
Well, I don't know what to make of that.
You should have just asked also to let the strangers have a pearl.
Oh my god. Well,
Oh,
I'm gonna take
How
that with
could
the other
you
guy.
forget that? The rest of you did not hear this. It was a
I know.
bilateral telepathic link. So I'm sorry, Henrietta, you missed your chance to ask for a pearl.
Oh, by the way.
P.S.
P.S.
Personal note. Or do like a voicemail message.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess you could roll with advantage. What
Oh.
would you like to roll? Deception?
Perception?
Perception?
That's much better. Persuasion, maybe? I'm trying to convince her to do as I say.
Yeah, but you're starting from the point of pretending to be her god.
Well, you don't have to count that in. I can roll deception. Okay. I got advantage, so just cross your fingers.
Good luck.
Woo!
yeah.
Nice.
Nat 20.
Natural 20 for a 22.
All right. Well, as we know, there are no automatic
but that's the
successes,
best I can
but
do.
That's the best. Well, you could have done more. You could have also had some guidance. You could
Well,
have
I thought
done
that
other-
maybe
but-
guiding myself was kind of out of the question.
So you are. She stands there, and of course they don't have eyelids, so they don't blink. But it is an uncomfortably long, sort of staring off into space. She's not looking at you because she doesn't know it's you.
Mhm.
And she starts whispering to her followers. Then they all kind of whisper. How do you want us to get you two together?
Use your imagination. You have followed the Sea Mother for a long while. You must know her. Maybe bring her flowers and say that they are for me.
Oh my god.
And I also think that she would be mighty impressed if you gave a pearl to the traveling party. A pearl, a beautiful pearl worth at least 100 gold.
Sea Mother quickly turned into Sea Mommy.
the rest of you just see like this kind of interaction between the priestess and her followers. There's a lot of sort of excitedness going back and forth, but then at the same time, there seems to be some confusion. The body language is reminiscent of fish that have been, sort of chased around and are exhausted. You don't know quite what to make of all of it. The responses are kind of jumbled, but she believes in vengeance, and we have to but we have to kill all of the others in order to bring you to life. But then you want us to have the Sea Mother come as well? Okay. We'll need a sacrifice.
No more sacrifices. Only Mind Flayer sacrifices.
But we don't have the power to make it happen without more sacrifice. Are you sure?
I have never been more sure in my entire existence. She is beautiful. Look at her. We could spend eternity together if you just would bring us together. And we could rule you all as a
Fine.
family.
We have to bring you into existence first.
No. You don't have to do that. We could be on the plane that we live on together.
But you're on the no, I don't believe this. And you see suddenly all of them rise up. It's a trick.
I was so close.
And they all seem to get very, very upset. Yep.
But they don't know that we did it. Maybe it was
They're
her father.
they're very they're
Give
very
the party a
upset.
pearl.
Minding my own business.
Do nothing.
Aw.
Well, it was an idea. Maybe not best, but
It was a good idea.
It was
Maybe the whole-
certainly entertaining.
Yes.
Maybe the
very
whole
much
living
so.
together on the same plane was kind of a giveaway.
well, I don't know where they are. And I don't want them to come into existence, so I had to say something.
Yeah, it's a bit like showing up at one person's, religious site and then essentially doing exactly the opposite of their entire religion.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, I think, Henrietta, you should roll for them.
One roll,
Sure.
11.
Well, and it's an average roll, which is perfect. We'll call them followers. Call them straight up 11. Who's going to go first? I'll say Mirror's a 12, so you can go ahead. Followers will go in the middle.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay.
So
Now,
the party just suddenly just sees, without any context.
yeah, they get all excited. The last thing you guys were looking at was this interaction between Byleth, some fish person, and Orla in what appeared to be a three-way love triangle.
Looking for
For
a
those who-
perfect third.
Very good
Looking
side
for-
story.
You
looking
just
for
hit-
love in all the wrong
Yeah.
places.
You just hear Dalin swear loudly. Fuck! That didn't work.
Totally doesn't give yourself away to just scream "fuck."
Yeah. At that point, everybody looks at you. I'm gonna say, Yvonne, why don't you roll others? Lib dual pool followers, and I'm gonna change this to Gugu. Nine. Yeah, that makes sense. They're going to be a little bit slow on the uptake. What the hell's going on here? Okay. The Lima Gugu followers, they start going on a rampage. These two run over here. These run over here. One's here. These two attack this guy here with the pincer, as is this one. And the priestess moves down here to where the Quotoa is ready to be sacrificed and is strapped to the table as a potential sacrifice. We'll put a little color on him. Yeah, everybody planning out the area of effect spells in advance. Nice.
Yes.
So I have a question.
Okay.
With the initiative, so it's always that the people who who start the combat go, and then it goes then to the lower initiatives after them.
That's not how the rules work technically, but in this case, since it was one of those things that started, I'm going to do it that way.
Okay.
Everybody who didn't get to take their turn at the beginning with a high initiative still has their reaction. So the benefit is that you'll have basically an extra reaction before the other guys get to their turn.
Okay.
You can always say something like, look, if combat kicks off, I'm going to draw my weapon. I'll ready myself, so you guys want to do that, you can do that now. But yeah, if you wanted to initiate the combat, then, we'll start with you. But you guys were trying not to initiate the combat, which I thought was good. I thought it was very well done. You might have succeeded, actually, if you hadn't gotten a little too greedy with the whole
Pearl
live
thing.
happily ever after. Well, the pearl wasn't really. I think it was more like the whole, like the mortal enemies, and let's turn it into Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Okay, so they will go ahead. These two will attack this one and slays him. This one will be entrapped in the net. These are not really combatants. And Yvonne to represent these two attacking the guy with the pincer. And Laura, you can roll for this more mean-looking dude.
Mm-hmm.
And this one
Can
will
I
be
just ask
injured.
a quick question?
Yes.
Last session before we went underwater, I think it was Delin who gave Moxie and I increased hit points. Do we still have those?
Yes. You did not
Orla.
travel for more than seven hours.
Orla, sorry, Orla.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Sorry.
It's a good way to make sure you don't get them next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's 8 hours.
Yeah, 16 plus 15. 16 and 15 rather. Why did you attack twice?
For these two guys.
Oh, well, I was saying Henrietta and Delin. Henrietta and Yvonne could roll one each. Sorry. That was
Just take the first one.
not clear. Okay. Yeah. They will bash him a little bit. He takes a little bit of damage. He gets upset. And this one is going to miss. Okay, so they're like throwing nets on each other. There's spear fighting. There's daggers coming out. With the exception of a couple of them, most of them don't seem to be heavily armed. They seem to be sort of your normal villagers. Whose turn is it next? Delin.
I'm just gonna. Oops. Kind of just want to stand back. They're not attacking us yet.
Well, that's technically true.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna see. 120 feet. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take out the big guns. So I am going to first back up a little bit and get to the Sea Mother's statue. And I am going to cast a tidal wave.
Ooh. Wow.
And that is, let's see.
Mm-hmm.
10 feet wide, 30 feet long, and 10 feet tall. Sorry, wasn't that supposed to push that? I was supposed to do that one. Oh, only 15. I was thinking about 10 feet here and 30 feet up and try and get that row of, because these are the followers of the bad guy. Let's see, Lima Gugu, right? These the blue ones.
Yeah, the ones with the blue dots. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take a tidal wave to try and shove all of those back. So
Okay.
10 feet, 30 feet.
Okay. Can everybody just mute the Bard bot or lower the volume really quick, including for the recording, just temporarily, because I forgot to load to come out really loud initially. Let me know when everybody's ready.
I can't mute it or anything because it's not in here.
Okay, I just don't want you to blow your eardrums, because I've got to turn this on, and this new system is very it's not, it works because it ties into Spotify, but it's not like as intuitive as you think it should be.
If it's too loud, I can cut the beginning out of the recording.
It's mostly I just don't want you guys to hurt yourselves. I don't want to scare everybody with like a massive blast. I'll lower the volume, but I have to do it after it starts up. Ready?
I'll cast on the wave.
Okay. All right. Ready? That's not the right song.
Very
Amazing.
peaceful. Everyone loves
Someone
each
casting
other.
sleep.
This is so relaxing.
That is not the song I wanted. Hang on a second. What?
This could be the song if Dylan succeeded, but. Everyone's happy.
Okay. 1 second. I'm gonna have to pause the recording for a sec. Or I'm not gonna pause, but you guys
Talk amongst ourselves? Yeah, we can do that.
Of course we can.
I'm just going to say Mira is about to do something either incredibly smart or incredibly stupid.
Me too. I just have to wait for the high priest to move.
I want to be level 5.
You'll get there eventually. Oh yeah, and Susan Moxie will be level 3 after today's session if she survives.
I didn't do anything this time. I was behaving.
I know. That's why you're getting promoted, because you were behaving.
Dun dun dun.
They were in perfect, they were in perfect position for fireball.
If only. Yeah. And it's if only. Well, you'll get there eventually. It's guaranteed that if you live long enough, you will eventually make it.
If I die today, I will be so mad.
All right.
Question: Is the party
Uh,
aware that Delin did a mind link because we've seen her do it
no.
before?
I mean, I don't know. Did she do something specifically to tell them? Because I don't think she did.
I don't
I
think
mean, you
think it
so.
did
was like a
say she
subtle
put like
thing.
her hands on her temples.
Well, you did do that, so there's a possibility that somebody saw it and knows what it is. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying, you guys tell me how you would have known.
I mean, I was always trying to get like Dylan's attention to do mindling with her, and if I just see them stand there and stare at them, and I have a passive perception of 16, can I argue I kind of guessed it?
Sure.
But anyway, we are aware that she is capable of doing that because she has done it before and talked to us about it.
Okay.
Been around her long enough to know that if she's messing around and then she says fuck and everybody attacks everybody, you know something's up.
And also stays quiet while everyone else is bickering.
Yeah, that.
And cast tidal wave and walk away.
That
It's kind of a
is
hint
another
that
clue.
something went wrong.
Yeah. I just realized I don't have this thing loaded up in Spotify. I only have it in YouTube. Oh, I think I know what it is. Hang on. Okay. I figured out what the problem is. I'm going to have to do this for next time, but we can continue. So whose turn was it?
I need to roll save for the 4 guys.
Yes. Go for it.
So
Oh, wow.
that's dex save, yeah. A dex save, so I guess at least 3 of them fail. I don't know about the last one.
Yeah.
I guess they have
Awesome.
more than 0 dex.
Well, on the one hand, they don't have particularly good dexterity. On the other hand, I'm going to say that since it's a water-based spell, although technically it doesn't say that they have advantage on it because they do breathe underwater and they're probably used to tidal waves. I'm going to say they get a little bit of protection. So, yeah, they get all washed out and all of them are going to get knocked over. They'll take a little bit less damage than normal. Well done. Where's my, here we go. Now my Roll20 is choosing to act up. That's always helpful. So I apologize. I don't know what's going on. I've reloaded everything. I restarted the internet several times today. Somebody is being booked. Okay. And does the water persist? Can you remind me again?
No. It just douses
right.
flame that's in the vicinity.
Okay. Comes in, blasts everybody, and goes out. Really simple. Okay. They're all knocked over, right?
I guess that the last one saves, so he takes half damage and isn't prone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So this guy is well done. He is on his back. He's on his back. He's on his back. They're all injured, of course. Yeah, terrific. Okay. Actually, I'm not going to make any changes. They all take full damage. There's no real rules on this. They look terrible. They look like they're very, very badly injured, except for the one, of course, that made his save. Okay, good. Who's next? They're the other one's turn. These 3 will run up, wiggling their feet, and they'll try to attack. They're dashing, so they're not going to get an attack in this time. This one's going to try to run away, and as he does so, Rebecca, why don't you roll an attack roll, and Susan, you can roll an attack roll for these 2.
16.
Ooh, wow.
10.
Okay. Yep. They're both going to hit, poking with spears, and it's gets a couple of slashes to the back. It looks very injured, but it runs off successfully, trying to get past you. This one is going to also try to run away. Why don't you roll for an attack there, Yoni? This one, opportunity attack. Oh, okay. So that's also going to take some damage as it runs off. This one. Okay. And then we're going to have a quick couple of attacks by this one. This guy is actually going to attack twice. He tries to hook this one in front of him and then use the pincers on another. Henrietta, would you like to roll for the first attack and Yvonne the second attack?
Okay. 19.
Okay. The first attack fails, but the second one succeeds, and you watch as this fellow with the large pincers grabs one of the Limagugu followers in the pincers, closing in tightly. The priestess starts chanting a spell. Having seen that the water came from Delin's area.
Oh, great.
But the priestess, is it her turn now? Isn't it the Sea Mother's followers?
Oh, sorry. Yes, that's right. But I forgot to do her in the beginning.
You
So
moved her.
I moved her, but she was preparing a spell.
She's trying to save me. Save me, Delin. Save me.
I'm trying.
It's all your fault.
Sorry.
Save me.
Yeah, I feel like that's not going to work because what she was going to do before that was actually worse, believe it or not. So, a large column of energy descends from above and surrounds all of you, including the archpriest. The column of light descends upon Delin and Moxie and the archpriest. The rest of you, everybody, can see what's happening. The three of them literally disappear behind the light. And you briefly think you see a soul leave. And that's where we'll end today.
Oh.
What?
It's just a daylight spell. We just have to adjust our eyes. There's nothing special about it.
She says as we like incinerate.
Yep.
Just hear them screaming.
Zzz.
Ah!
It's just a sunburn!
I should have worn my sunscreen.
Does anybody have aloe vera?
I need my SPF 6 billion.
Do they eventually all get like resistance to like sun damage with Ola just keep shining her shield everywhere?
Or we all just
Or
like our
long-term
eyesight just
cancer.
worsens and worsens.
There goes that dark vision we thought we could have as half elves.
We all start to need glasses.
I wear my sunglasses at night now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you all very much. And I look forward to seeing. Oh, that's right. Most of you, hopefully, next week.
Crossing fingers and toes.
Mm-hmm.
Moxie may not be here, even if Susan's playing.
Yeah.
Susan can physically be here, but she's just gonna stare and watch as things go down because Moxie somehow is just
Well, maybe she'll play Maliborn or Poops and Pool or Sponge or the Archpriest. Who
the
knows?
Archpriest disappeared with the rest of us.
Well, yeah, in the light. It's just
I don't think he meant that she's going to disappear.
a question of what you guys see.
Guess we'll
Let's-
just have to wait and find out next week.
And on the
Next
next
week.
episode
To
of
say
Here, hold my earrings.
all right, folks, thank you very much. As always, an absolute joy to play with all of you next week.
Of course. Have a great week, everybody.
You too.
You too.
you too.
You
Sounds
too.
good.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Okay,
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Take care. Everyone.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.